Well, in less than a week, we'll know if voters approve a tax hike to help spruce up Albuquerque's BioPark. But what we don't know is where Albuquerque's mayor stands on this issue. News 13's Alex Goldsmith looks into why this is such a tricky question for the mayor.
I'm going to answer your question, but one of the things that, well, I'm going to kind of answer your question.
It's an issue that seems to have the mayor tied in knots. This year, Albuquerque voters are being asked if they want a sales tax hike that would raise about $250 million over the next 15 years for the zoo, aquarium, botanic garden, and Tingley Beach. So what does Mayor Berry think about this important issue?
I'm going to treat it like I'm another voter, and I'll keep my vote to myself.
So ordinarily you'd say, well, this is a no-brainer for him.
UNM political science professor Gabe Sanchez says, well, the mayor typically opposes any tax hike because it's the BioPark.
It's a place where you see probably the highest frequency of his own constituents actually attending and having positive things to say. So it puts him in a tough spot.
That hasn't stopped other politicians from answering that tough question.
Hey, Councilor Winter, Councilor Benton, hey, Councilor Harris. Asking every councilor and council candidate the same question. Do you support the BioPark tax hike, yes or no?
Everyone we reached took a stance, even Albuquerque's former mayor.
There's a 1/8 cent measure on the ballot, which I strongly support for our BioPark. They're not supporting it.
They being the current mayor's administration.
I'm just going to refrain from an opinion.
He claims his silence isn't because it's a tough issue, but because it's an issue the BioPark Society, not his office, put on the ballot.
In the future, if it's not one of our initiatives, I'm just going to refrain from comment.
Alex Goldsmith, KRQE News 13.
One other group we called today did not have a stance on the BioPark tax hike, the Greater Albuquerque Chamber of Commerce, which usually opposes tax hikes.